it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yep.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon, he's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one, the Sandman. Hack, how the hell is it going today?
I am Penn State.
Oh, wow. There you go, Mr. We are.
Hey, guys, it's Thursday. The game's going to be on in a couple hours. I'm psyched.
There we go. We are recording on Thursday, right before the Penn State Notre Dame game. Hack, I know we just posted your picks on social media. You are riding with the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, you have, dude. They've been playing. Their defense has been playing well. They only gave up to, what'd they give up at? Like 10 points to SMU and like 14 to Boise or something like that, you know? So, I mean, that Genty guy got, what he got, like 100 and...
He had barely over 100, which is one of his lower totals on the year.
I mean, I'm just going with the defense right here. And a really good quarterback.
All right, well, we'll see what happens, what shakes out here over the next 2 days with the...
And I think Ohio State's going to roll Texas.
Yeah, I'm with you, Hack. I agree with your picks there, too. I like Penn State and I like Ohio State. Hopefully they're good games because I know besides the Texas-Arizona State game, the games haven't really been that great for these playoff games. But
I think this one tonight should be good. Both
it might be low scoring, but it's going to be good.
An evenly matched game. Like, we're finally up to where...
Dude, I like the Texas-Arizona game. They were up 14-3 in the first 6 minutes of the game.
He was saying other than that game, all the other ones.
The rest of the playoff games haven't been that good. But
that's true.
Hopefully this is the first time they've been doing the college football playoffs. And Hack, I know you were saying that there's a lot of scouts there at the game tonight down there.
For the Penn State quarterback.
Yeah, Drew Aller, you're saying.
And they said if he wants to go into this draft, he's going to be a top 5 pick.
Well, I mean...
He announced he was coming back.
But he could be one next year.
Yeah, well, he announced he was... Well, they're getting a wide receiver transfer. I forget from one school, but he's one of the top wide receivers in the country transferring into Penn State, so that's probably why he
I know,
decided to return.
To me, it'll be hard to turn down. Like, if you know you're going top 5... I mean, that the money's there. Your career could be over the next year.
You don't, and I don't. I don't think
everybody needs a freaking quarterback in the league except 15 people.
Yeah, I think you know
what I'm saying. Everybody needs a quarterback.
But if you look at the way that the draft order fell, if you look at the way that the draft order fell, there are some teams that could not. I mean, you have Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, and then it's like, bleh. And the kid from Georgia that got hurt, Carson Beck, just announced that he's not going in the draft anymore. He's entering the transfer portal. So that's another quarterback.
Oh, he's entering the portal?
Yeah. The starter kid that got hurt.
Georgia has fallen, baby.
Well, this kid that just played is probably going to be their starter next year. So he got injured and didn't finish his college season, so he's probably... They said Miami's the most likely landing spot for him because Cam Ward's going to be gone.
Who the hell would want to even go to Miami, dude?
Have you seen the women?
I don't care. I want to play for a winner, dude, in Miami.
Yeah. Miami was just... I mean...
I don't think they're going to
hear that every year about staying in Miami.
I think they're going to stick with Tua, though. For at least another year.
The Hurricanes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, duh.
Carson Beck. I'm talking about the kid transferring. I'm talking about Miami University.
The problem with Miami is that they don't get the Florida kids anymore.
Yeah.
Right, they used to own Florida.
Yeah, but this year... If they got the Florida kids, they'd be really, really good still.
Right, but this year they were borderline... they were...
They were right.
I don't know if they got high as 5 or so Miami this year, but they ended up, out of it losing in the ACC championship game or whatever. But
they had a couple bad losses to end the year. They had that Syracuse loss. They had a couple close losses. They had a lot of close wins too.
Yeah.
But it's Miami. It was a pretty good year for the program, all things considered.
They should just go back to recruiting right out of the prisons.
Would they
Seriously.
probably get a lot of like the 3-star Florida kids, but like top recruits, like the kid on Ohio State, Jeremiah Smith. He's from Miami Gardens, Florida.
Right, and you don't get that guy.
Street hood.
And he
he's-
goes to Ohio
I
State
picked up
where
drugs
it's
there.
cold, where you know what I'm saying. So it's like,
But that's also like wide receiver you almost. I mean, how many wide receivers come out of Ohio State that they're just
and it's
pumping
also
out?
too when you're from the hood, do you want to spend your time at school at home?
Maybe you want to get away.
Well, I was gonna say,
with
you're
that-
probably
with
telling
that-
them like, dude,
His
get out of
parents
it,
are probably
man.
like, kid, get the hell out of
Especially
Yeah.
with NIL now and stuff,
Right.
kids are probably trying to set their friends up.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
go to Division
yeah,
I now. I
maybe,
wouldn't be
maybe.
surprised.
So we're certainly excited for this couple games here, and then the NFL playoffs as well this weekend with the Birds. We got the Green Bay Packers on Sunday at 4.
We roll, Baltimore rolls, freaking Buffalo rolls.
You think the Birds roll on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, you're pretty confident.
Dude, they're down. Green Bay's got guys injured, and they ain't been playing unbelievably great.
I know, but I was looking at some of the stats this week. The Eagles are 7th in team offense, 2nd in team defense this year. The Packers are 8th in team offense, 6th in team defense. So, I mean,
I don't give a shit about that. They
Well-
haven't beaten anybody.
no, their track record this year is
No,
not
they've
been-
lost to Detroit. They've lost to Buffalo. They lost to somebody else big, I think.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's going to be a little closer, especially if Jalen's a little rusty coming off the layoff of the past couple weeks, not really playing. We'll see what happens. I mean, if the Eagles can run the ball and maintain the clock and maintain time possession, and their defense steps up like I think that they will, it should be a pretty easy game.
Our defense is everything right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah,
I mean, our defense is so damn good. But they were going to expect us to play man, I think. Did we play man against... Remember
Opening
we played
week?
them in the first game. They
In
killed
Brazil.
us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was... They had 3 20-yard rushes that game in the first game of the season. We only gave up 3 20-yard rushes the rest of the year.
wow.
Yeah.
You
That's
know what I mean?
interesting right
So that's something big. Dude, our defense is freaking good.
Yeah, well, they can run the ball pretty well. Jacobs, pretty good runner for them. So we'll see what happens. The line is only it stayed at 4.5 all week. It actually was a little bit lower than what I thought it would be. I thought it would come in around like 6-ish.
Probably because
when
it's
it opened.
Jalen being in protocol
I
or
think
something.
once
and
he-
Brown's hurt right now, supposedly.
I think once he gets declared active,
That was today.
Jalen, I'm talking about. That
You think it
line,
jumps?
that line should move. I would say at least a point and a half to
Yeah,
about
but Brown
6.
didn't Brown practice for a minute yesterday, and didn't practice at all today.
Right.
Play.
Well, I know he's going to play, but just what's up
We're
with
just
it?
talking about the line being where it's at and what they're talking about, and it's also Love's not 100% either.
No, he's got was it a wrist injury? I think
It's
or
like
elbow?
a wrist or elbow or whatever it is. But they said that the reporters were watching them do their calisthenics. The Milwaukee reporters were watching them do the calisthenics, and then they got rid of all the reporters as soon as practice started. So
I wonder what that means.
yeah, I
A
don't
lot
know.
of teams do that too, or they wait till the reporters are gone to do what they want to do.
Yeah, so they don't have anybody like tipping
Or
off
they're
any
just
potential
like saying
plays.
like how many times did Love even throw that? You know what I'm saying? So the reporters aren't reporting like, oh, he wasn't even throwing today. Whatever, just not trying to give any little tidbits out to the other teams or anything like that. But we'll see. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be a route. Listen, I wouldn't put it past that, but it's the playoffs, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And like you said, Tosh, I think Jalen and the offense might come out a little bit rusty. So, I mean, we'll see.
Dude, why did we just put a new field in today?
Yeah, I heard that too.
What the hell is going on with that?
I don't
Was
know
it
if it's
because
'cause
of
of
the
the snow?
snow and
Yeah.
we didn't get it in earlier?
I think that's my
Probably.
guess too. Yeah, I
I
heard that
know they
today,
do
too.
that all the time in like the pros.
And we
but
play-
damn,
we
3
play on-
days
well,
in
we-
freezing weather.
Yeah, but wetter.
Delco's coming out.
Yeah, what do you? Didn't you go to Penn State, not the Irish? But I mean, we play on natural grass, so I don't really think that. I don't know if that's necessarily going to really matter that much.
Do you guys like the 4:00 start over the 1? Do you think it's better for people to get some parking lot time in? And
I like the 4 o'clock for me, just so I'm not completely hammered by the time the game starts.
Yeah, I can do a little something beforehand. No, that's like your prime time, like Sunday 4:30. That's like your, prime time.
yeah, No, we'll see what
And
happens. man.
Texans with that lead-off Saturday game, like
They-
we always
every,
talk about.
every year they lead off that Saturday
They're
game.
going to
It's-
lose, too.
And they did it good too by putting Washington and the Bucks right after the Eagles
Right.
game to figure it. So it's like we're watching and we can figure out who we play right after.
Well, because if the Bucks
which
win,
I
it's
also
Bucks,
think is
right?
going to be a shootout. That
Yeah,
game.
I think
If the
that one
Bucks
will
win,
be.
it's the Bucks. 100%,
Yeah, there's like
right?
no chance we can play the Commanders.
Right.
And then if
they win-
If the Bucks win, we play the Bucks no matter what.
And
if Washington wins, then we play the winner of Minnesota LA.
All right, come on, Bucks. let's get LA to knock off Minnesota.
Wow, there we go. Look, we'll see. How
Dude,
this,
LA's on the come too.
I know you say that you like them, but
Dude, they've won like 5 in a row at this point.
I ain't scared of nobody.
wow, Ollie's confident. He's got his chest out.
Nobody.
Yeah,
This
I ain't scared
episode
of
comes out
nobody.
Monday, so if the Eagles lose, man, we are going to sound stupid.
As long as our defense shows
Listen,
up, I don't think
us
we can
along
beat
with the whole rest of America.
Yeah, probably.
Honestly, so
I'm excited. Hopefully, we go on a nice little birds run and we can annoy you guys out there listening to the show with our Eagles celebrations over the next couple weeks here.
While you're all drowning in your misery of your loser teams.
Yeah, there you go. Suck it the rest of the country.
yeah, who? What's that dude? Boston, whatever. The guy that writes us in on the questions.
Boston John?
Is that what?
No, I'm drawing a blank here.
I know he always
Wait.
talks shit on us.
He's a Patriots fan. The one
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
a Patriots fan. We got a bunch of fans out there writing us. We got a Lions fan a couple weeks. We got
Yeah, you fired your coach after one season.
Yeah, we got-
Mr. Patriots
we
fan.
got-
How's that?
Yeah,
What?
I don't know about
And
that
San
one.
Antonio Steve, what's his name?
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, Johnny.
no, it's
Johnny from San Antonio.
Yeah, I like
Johnny.
him. He don't really talk shit.
We got a couple. We got some Lions fans out there. We got Kevin. Don't forget about him. He's a Browns fan.
Yeah.
That loser.
God bless you. God bless you.
It sucks to not be an Eagles fan out there, guys. This week on the show, we all watched the debut on Netflix for WWE. What a big night it was
us
for
and the
them.
rest of the globe.
Us and the rest of the world. So I do have first. I want to separate talking about the show versus the Netflix deal itself. So, Hack, did you know that Netflix has 260 million homes in the world? Have
I thought it was
Netflix?
like 287. I thought I said that last week or whatever. But yeah,
That is an incredible reach, and it's the largest reach that pro wrestling has like specifically ever had. So to be on that,
dude, it's like the largest reach of anything except like Europe, like European soccer, like in the big leagues and stuff like that, dude. Because that's on the Sky Sports and it goes like everywhere on the planet. You know what I mean? But that's pretty big.
yeah,
Just perspective-wise, do you have any idea what the numbers were like before they were doing, like home-wise?
I don't. That's a great question. I don't have that, but I did also have this stat
I was just
too.
wondering, like,
No, it's double.
perspective-wise.
It's got to be at least double what their usual share
I
is.
mean,
Well-
yeah, I would think so.
Well,
I just
this
wondered.
is-
Yeah, I was just wondering.
I have a stat here on about the amount of homes for cable television. So the current in the U.S., 46% of households have cable television. That's down from 73% in 2017. So you've seen a drastic decline in linear television.
Well, but is cable not? Is that satellite? Is that satellite also?
yeah, it's cable
that's
satellite.
everything?
Yeah,
Okay,
so that's
I didn't realize that.
So that's cord cutters
What
out
was
there.
what was the number drop?
So it's from 73% in 2017. Now here, 8 years later, it's at 46%. So it's a drastic decline.
Well, there's a lot of people getting rid of it, I guess. They're using them new boxes to give you all the channels or something. There's some new box out there.
And for Peacock right here, as of the third quarter of 2024, Peacock had 36 million paid subscribers.
Okay, so think about that. Compare 36 to 260.
Yeah, it's a joke.
That's a giant
Well,
jump.
and whoever had, that's only Peacock, but there might be more with the USA Network, but still ridiculous. Still a ridiculous amount of, jump.
The question I have for you, Hack, and this is kind of a concern for I think some wrestling fans out there, is so when WWE transferred the network to Peacock, obviously ECW and the archives of a lot of the older wrestling went to Peacock, right? And it's readily available. And I know you say this all the time for signings, is people come up to you and young people and kids say, oh, I've watched everything on Peacock or the network and I've been able to enjoy your career. The concern I think some people have out there is that with the transfer to Netflix, is WWE not going to move their entire archive eventually when the Peacock deal runs out? And some things like hardcore TVs or ECW on TNN or some of the shows might not make their way over eventually to Netflix. And that's why physical media is very important to, people keep your tapes and your DVDs out there because you want to have a copy of these things forever, because you never know if these streaming companies are going to decide to just shelve something and not put it out there. So is that a concern of yours that with the movie?
Not until you just said it.
Well, no, I mean,
now I'm sweating.
No, I think
Nobody's going to know who I am, and people are going to forget about me.
No, I'm saying, because, there's times where these streaming companies are going to be like, well, we're not going to put world-class championship wrestling up on Netflix, if it's not getting the views, right?
I don't blame them, but from what I know, Dreamer says we're the most watched thing on there.
Really? Oh, that's awesome, man. That's really cool to hear. I'm glad to hear that, and I hope everything transfers over.
I'm sure WWE, if Netflix doesn't want to transfer everything, WWE can't keep people from watching that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they'll figure some sort of option and way for people to still view that if Netflix doesn't want.
I think they've been more active on their WWE The Vault Twitter or YouTube account.
Yeah.
They've been very active about putting out old stuff on there and random, in the archive stuff. So hopefully
or maybe they make a deal with YouTube and put...
Yeah, a lot of here's every ECW TV episode. Here's here's Mid-South Wrestling if you're not going to watch. You know what I mean?
Listen, WWE gave Hack a heart-filled New Year's card. So
shouts out to Mark Henry. It's on their fridge.
Sandman's not going anywhere.
They aren't getting rid of him anytime soon.
Yeah, the weird thing is Mark Henry, his was not personalized, but you got a heartfelt message on your card.
What did it say?
It didn't have anything either.
Pop one open, fire one up. Let's get extreme. Happy New Year.
That's funny.
That is great.
Oh, P.S. We really loved the Hackies.
Yeah, they love the Hackies.
Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, love Stephanie. Yes.
I always have.
No, but I mean, this 10-year partnership with Netflix that they have, it was signed last January. It could be worth in excess of $5 billion. Netflix has an option to extend the deal 10 years or opt out after 5. So, I mean, I think, I think I would say they're probably going to extend it. Who knows where it's going to be in 5 years?
Is there a player option in that too?
No, I don't know. Yeah,
does WWE have the option also?
I'm not sure if it's just the Netflix or WWE option after that 5 year in 2030. But I mean, who knows?
I can see it being like a done deal extension after like a year. 2 years maybe. We'll see how many new eyes they get.
Right.
But it's almost inevitable.
I think it is too, and I think the interesting thing that they've set up with their newest TV deal is that they have a footprint in all areas, right? You're on the top streaming platform on Netflix, you have USA Network for SmackDown still, and you have the network television deal. Even though it's a low-level network, CW, you're still on network, so you have a footprint in all the 3 big areas, so it's really spread out.
I'm thinking, could you see them maybe continuing a deal with Peacock to keep that log? Because then you have your foot in there, or do you think that would bite something out? Like Netflix would not want that to.
I think because the worldwide outside of the U.S., it's already transferred over to Netflix. But because of the Peacock deal, the network has not transferred over to Netflix yet. They haven't said one way or the other, but I would, if I had to guess, I would say that it's probably going to go to Netflix,
right,
when that Peacock deal does run up. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Netflix ain't going to want Peacock being able to watch the same shit that's on Netflix,
right?
You know what I mean? All the recent pay-per-view you can get right on Peacock. No, they're like,
Right, we're going to want that in our house. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think about the next WWE star that's going to end up with their own Netflix movie or show.
Rhea Ripley? Yeah, I don't know. It's a great
But you got to see those things coming in the future.
Right.
Especially if somebody has it.
Yeah, that's
the whole world's going to blow up, dude. There's going to be more Indian wrestlers, not like United States Indian, like people from India. There's going to be more India wrestlers on the planet in 5 years, more Chinese wrestlers on the planet. You know what I mean? Maybe got people from sub-Saharan Africa. You know what I'm saying? It's going to open up a whole world, and there's going to be so much more town. It's going to be great.
And they already started doing stuff like that, like with England, like the NXT England and stuff like that, right, Tosh?
Yeah, they did have the NXT UK for a while.
Next year's Royal Rumble's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I can see them going to Bollywood in India easily.
Yeah, I think for whatever reason that I know Jarrett tried years ago. Your boy, your dream man, Jeff Jarrett. There.
Yeah, what was he even doing in that match the other night?
He's going for the title.
Yeah, he's going for the title.
Double J.
He pulled a U. Yeah. He didn't even make it into the ring and
he got paid for it. That was great. Yeah, great wrestler. Jeff, love Jeff Jarrett. Your
that
boy.
Was such a you move, if anything.
No, Jarrett tried to start a wrestling company in India, probably about 10, 15 years ago, and it just didn't really take off. They did a lot of tapings in Orlando, like alongside TNA, to like market it for the Indian market, and for whatever reason, it just never took off.
Well,
in
he
India.
probably saw the potential of it, maybe just didn't have the backing or
And you know what we're going to see probably in the definitely within the next year, that whoever's watching, whenever they get the numbers right or whatever, whoever's watching big in this area or this area, they're going to find a wrestler that's Indian. They're going to find a wrestler that's Chinese, put the belt on them for when they go over there.
Whoever's watching most of the next pay-per-view's going right over there.
Exactly. That's
Absolutely.
how it's going to be.
And the way that marketing machine that they have is going to be just.
We might not see many pay-per-views in the United States.
Well, dude,
Exactly. There's so much more money everywhere else.
Remember
No,
I
I know.
said that not too long ago? I'm like, dude, all these pay-per-views, what they have? Germany, France, now Canada's getting that.
Scotland.
Yeah.
You might get like WrestleManias and like SummerSlam might be like the two staple United States pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Did I see some? Were they going to Australia, or did I make that
No, that's
up?
AEW.
AEW's doing the
okay.
Australian
Yeah,
show,
my
but
bad. All right.
yeah,
That's
I
what
think
I
it
saw.
has been strategic for their business plan for 2024
Right.
to do that global push, and I think it's only going to continue.
I mean, you see the way these crowds are reacting when you go over there, and I mean, as a watcher and a viewer, it makes it more fun for me to watch when crowds are more into it like that. So if I'm them, I'm just gonna keep going to the well.
Yeah.
Well, now, like, we were watching the show, and they didn't have to who were they saying? Fuck you Solo, and they didn't have to blur it out anymore, these...
Well, there was a couple moments on the show that we'll get to where it was Netflix moments. So.
Yeah, The Rock and
but I'm
what's
just
it,
saying,
Drew McIntyre. I saw a little something backstage that McIntyre.
But, like,
just
to your
went off
point,
saying
Ollie,
whatever
like
he
you're
couldn't.
saying, the crowds, like, are inspired, like, are pushing other different things, and now these crowds are like, they don't have to blur it out anymore, so now we can see the authenticity of, they're not pumping in the crowd. I mean, maybe they're pumping in crowd noise
Well,
now
now
or
you say
whatever.
"fuck you" an Indian.
I know, but it's like when they're in Berlin, they could be cursing, we don't know, so they don't have to necessarily.
Who's
blur it out, you know
who's
what I'm
our
saying?
doctor of knowledge?
Doug,
Doug,
the professor.
Doug the professor.
Get back to us.
Fuck
with that
you
one.
in India.
Yeah, please get
Dude,
back
I
to
wouldn't
us
be
on that one.
surprised if the NFL doesn't roll over to Netflix. If this goes so well for them, their next deal, their next TV
Well, they just
deal.
had Christmas on Netflix.
Yeah, they've been dipping their toe in the NFL with streaming.
because they're going worldwide too.
Yeah, absolutely, Hack. I totally
Well, you know
foresee
the
that
NFL and Vince always been in cahoots, so
yeah, booking the finishes. Let's get to the show here. This was first off. I think they.
All right, hold on. First off, I could not believe how great the
camera quality is.
looked.
Yes.
That was the
Dude,
first thing I noticed.
It was like, holy shit, this TV. We got a 70-inch TV right here, and NFL doesn't look that good.
Yeah, and
It looked twice as good as an NFL program.
I mean, even us looking at it right now, like
Yeah, this
It was way better than that.
he looks good as shit right there, but dude,
Yeah, you can see his pores.
I'll tell you what. I did not really care. I'm going to say this right now. I did not really care for the show all that much, but the presentation of it was top notch. Like, absolutely top notch presentation, production, and having it in the
Intuit Dome.
in the Toot Dome, which is like state of the art arena,
Right.
Was
brand new.
was a great decision. I loved a lot of the. They had at one point a drone shot of a
the
drone.
He saw it.
Yeah.
Dude, that was like. I mean, sports does these things too, and they're always like, it just adds a layer to the production. And WWE is always at the forefront of production and all that. So, like, all those elements were top notch and really, really crisp and just awesome looking.
And all the microphones, like notice how you could hear guys really, really talking in the corner.
Everything.
Super
You
crisp
you
and
calling a
everything.
spot, the whole world's going to know you're calling a spot.
Yeah.
There was mics everywhere.
What did you think of the referees' new outfits? They looked like they were valets parking your car at Eddie V's steakhouse. I thought they were pretty corny
I
looking.
honestly didn't even really notice it.
I didn't either.
You didn't notice the new outfits? I thought you pointed
Well,
out.
no, I noticed
Of
it. I was
course I
like, new
noticed.
ring mat, new referee
Yeah, all the
shirts,
emblems
new
on the
like,
freaking.
Well, that's something, Hack, I want to mention too with the sponsorships on the mats. Apparently, Vince was always very opposed to that. Didn't want it to look like a NASCAR race or whatever. Look, why not? Why wouldn't you get money? Like, if you watch big time boxing or UFC, we've been used to advertisements on the mat for a long, long time. Like, I don't know. I have no issue with it.
The only problem I thought with it was they seemed like they were like raised differently than like
It was more like a patch.
Yeah, like a patch more than a
And
mat.
then like printed on the canvas.
Yeah, they're gonna have to work that into where they have one, it's like a silhouette of like all one texture of a mat, but I don't know how they didn't work that in.
And what was the
previously,
one beer? Was that Hogan's beer
Yeah,
or
Hogan's
something?
beer. We'll get to the Hulkster.
Boo.
We'll get to the Hulkster.
I am an American.
The show opened up with a really cool video package that was narrated by Triple H. And they used a lot of interesting terminology in this video, Hack. Did you have any issue with them saying things like face and heel and stuff like that? Because, look, it's 2025. Everyone knows that wrestling is a work pretty much. And if you don't, you're a mouth
Except
breather.
all these new people that are going to start watching. They're all
Right.
going to think it's real as shit.
Yeah.
But it was great for them to kind of go into the history of it, especially for all the new viewers that they're having.
Right, it was a quick refresher of the history, and they do such a great job on video packages and really looping in their history and talking about it all the time. And it's something that WWE has done historically really, really well.
Well, I don't know if you followed along on Twitter at all, like during the show, or even earlier in the day, there was a lot of talk about, hey, listen, I don't watch wrestling, but I'm going to watch tonight. You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't see much of that.
I had a lot of friends like that actually, and I'll mention some of their thoughts on the show later.
There was some people I saw, with retweets, and then other like celebrities and stuff like that. Like, hey, I don't watch wrestling, but I'm going to start. And then throughout the night, they're like, I like this. Like, I could start watching it, stuff like that. So there is, they were capturing a whole new, not only new audience from throughout the planet, but people here in the United States that didn't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Especially the folks who don't have Peacock, but they have Netflix, and there's nothing on tonight, so they're like, I might as well check this out.
Right, nothing else on. There's no Monday Night Football anymore. There's no college football on. Let me give wrestling.
It couldn't have been a better night for them to premiere, honestly, with nothing going on.
Yeah. So after the video package, there was curtains around the ring, and they dropped down to reveal Triple H.
That was cool.
He takes victory laps.
Those
man.
curtains were cool. I love that whole idea of those curtains being it was like the Wizard of Oz to me.
Yeah,
honestly, that's what I felt like.
I like that because it kind of gave me like a if you were at a concert. I've been to some concerts before that have had that where it's like a big reveal, and I like the look of it and everything. That was cool. But Triple H always is taking these victory laps for the stuff. I was like,
well, I expected him to open the show.
I kind of thought I was expecting The Rock to, but then The Rock came out right after.
That's what I said. It's either The Rock or Triple H.
Yeah,
And
I expected Hunter to open the show. So,
and I think that's part of playing into who's got the steering wheel of the company a little bit too. Between the two of those guys, because there's a lot of that stuff going on. So then The Rock came out, and he got a really, really big pop. This really bothered me though. The promo that he cut. It was more of just self-congratulating the company and everything, and he sees Cody in the crowd. Now Cody's in the crowd, and you've done this angle over the past year, and you just kill it all right there. And even if The Rock's not doing Mania, I really question what they did with him on this show, because even if he's not doing this Mania or whatever, if you leave the door open for a potential angle still, it is still potentially business, but you kind of close the door on business with Cody and him at least, and him and Roman too. I mean, Hack, what were your thoughts on it?
First of all, I was like, I would be pissed if they made me sit out in that crowd that whole show. I would have been furious.
They weren't sitting out there the whole show.
Yeah,
If you
because there
notice,
was a lot of those empty seats after the one segment.
if you notice-
rotating seats each match, like
Right, it's the same thing like UFC does when they have a couple of their fighters out there. Like they're out there for a little bit, a celebrity's out there. They'll switch, they'll go to the back. And Cody did a run in later, so he was only out there for a little bit. But I just thought, man, this guy's really like, The Rock acknowledged, like, hey, he's carried the company over the last year. He's done great business, and that was a shoot. I feel like that was a shoot by him. But at the same time, it's like,
that was him covering his own ass.
I don't understand why you think the doors closed on him for anything.
why did you tap him up? You're drinking tequila with him on Instagram, and you're like, what? You got the heat.
It's wrestling.
I know, but you have the heat. You have the angle that you've done. And the last time we saw him and Cody do something in the ring, he whispered something in Cody's ear, and then you didn't do anything else with that.
You got to understand, though, it's a new freaking. They're working on a new audience right here. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that watches a little bit has no clue that The Rock had to step back from that WrestleMania last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So nobody cares.
So you just punch.
It's wrestling. How many times have we seen MJF and what's his name in the ring?
But
first they're friends, then they're not friends, then they're best friends. You know.
But even if, let's say, him and Cody doors closed, him and Roman is still on the table for WrestleMania.
Well, I was waiting for
who's the final, for who's the High Chief.
I just didn't think that you needed The Rock to acknowledge Cody.
You didn't.
I agree with you, Tosh. Like, even if like you're introducing something new, like you said, but for the old people, like not the old people, but the
people that know what's going on.
The people that know what's going on are kind of like you didn't even have to do that for your new watchers. Is my point, and keep the same thing going with the old watchers, and then once the new watchers pick up whatever's going on, like they'll assume they'll repackage. Like WWE will show the old shit of WrestleMania between Rock and Cody, and they'll learn that what's going on.
I think Rock was eating a little crow there too. I do. I think it was like he's admitting that he was wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, he literally took that match from him and then they had to give it back to him. You know what I mean? So and there was heat over both ways of that.
I agree with you, Hack.
That's a fair point.
But Hack, if there's business to do, and
But The Rock, if The Rock's a heel, why can't he go back on what he was doing and just go after Cody again?
Because he should have said something last night or Monday night about the crybabies again.
Nobody's gonna give a fuck about that.
The Rock gets in the ring with Cody.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying nobody's gonna.
No one will care, regardless of what he does. It will be giant business.
Yeah, no WWE fan's gonna be like, go back and be like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree, I know, but it doesn't make any sense, and neither did the build to Mania last year. None of it made real sense, but they just kind of did it. So, and I think part of that is The Rock coming in here last minute at the 11th hour saying, "Now this is what I want to do," and then they go with what The Rock says because of who he is. And he has all this control and power. I mean, he's on the board, but he's also this giant star that can basically do whatever he wants. He has more power than anyone else in that company as a performer at the end of the day.
I think the direction they should go is Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania.
I don't think that's happening. I don't think Rock is performing. Let's ask that right now. Let's go around real quick here. Do you think The Rock is working this year's Mania? Ali, you think he is?
Yes.
Okay. I don't 100%.
Think
you think he is, Hack?
He's doing something.
I don't think he's working. I don't think he's working Mania at all. Ty, what do you think right now?
It's first one, Netflix. The Rock's going to be on it.
It's not on Netflix this year, this Mania. So it's going to be still on Peacock.
How long is the Peacock contract for?
I think it's for another year or two. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, but Netflix isn't going to show it?
It is for the rest of the world, not for the U.S. Okay. But, yeah. Ty, do you think he's going to work Mania this year? The Rock?
Yes.
Okay, all right. We'll see what happens. Put that one on the board.
Three said yes.
I said no. I don't think he's.
You're always the one that's wrong.
Oh yeah, I said you guys all thought Cody was not going to win. Anyway, The Rock was just putting over Netflix, and then he announced that This is something that sticks in my crawl, too. It really bothers me. They announced that it was the largest arena gate in WWE.
I said, what the hell are they talking about?
Okay.
What was that?
If they always like to say this, so I guess whenever they go to an arena, and I guess arena, not stadium show, arena size, you're basically telling your audience, hey, you guys paid more money to come to the show than anyone else has before. Like, does that make you feel better as a consumer?
No, but you have a good point. But there was only 17,000 people.
Right.
But you have to look at what money was worth in 1983.
Adjust for inflation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As to what money's worth now in 2024.
Yeah, I don't know.
25.
I don't know if the figures are adjusted for inflation or whatever. But it's like, I get it. This is your big victory lap show, and it's a record number. But like, to say that to your crowd there, it's like, I don't know.
Now that makes them want to be. That makes them pumped up. But I still don't believe it.
Hey, it makes me feel like I'm
just
getting
don't
price
believe it.
gouged.
Me as a fan, if I was in the crowd and you told me that, I wouldn't give a fuck. But
Yeah.
that's just like me.
I'd be like, yeah,
cool.
I'd be like,
guess,
fuck,
but,
I
like,
paid $750 for these Raw tickets.
I know what fucking money I paid. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
I guess.
like,
And then The Rock hugged Rhodes. He put over Cody Rhodes, and that was, he was total babyface mode here. Then next up on the show was the match for control of the bloodline here, the Tribal Chief match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. I don't know. Did you guys enjoy this match? I thought it was okay, but similar to a lot of these Solo and Roman matches, you're just waiting for the run-ins. And the match before that point is kind of just filler. How long did this one go? It was kind of long.
It was 21 minutes.
Okay, was this the longest thing on the show? Was this longer than the Punk match?
Yes.
Okay. It was just like waiting for the run-ins, I feel like. And not that the work in this was bad or anything. I think the result was pretty obvious going in. Like, I didn't think...
But that's every week what they're doing. That's WWE's like forte. Well, we're going to stick you guys in a 6-man, but we're still going to do the running.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just put you in different ways, and you know the run-in's coming. You know, that's the difference between them and AEW. The biggest difference.
I mean, but and there's nothing wrong with predictable booking, right? Like if you have booking that makes sense and you know where it's going, you give the fans the direction, they can follow along pretty easily, and it's not convoluted or anything like that. But as a match and everything, it didn't get to like a big level for me. And for Roman wrestling on TV, I mean, when's the last time Roman worked a TV match? It's been forever. I can't remember the last time he worked a TV match.
I mean, they said the last singles match he had was with Cody at WrestleMania. So TV match, who knows?
I mean, he did a tag. They did a tag. Or
He did
whatever
something
pretty
before
recently.
But they said a solo match.
Yeah, it's very rare that he even works TV matches, so that was interesting. And this was a tribal combat match. Like you guys said, they were chanting "fuck you, Solo," and not really shying away from that with the Netflix. So
As they shouldn't.
I don't think they're going to be leaning into wrestlers dropping F-bombs, but maybe if the crowd is, they might not try to mute them or whatever. This was just like an okay match. I didn't think it was anything special, but it did start to pick up after they got some plunder involved. Solo grabbed a table. I did like Roman hitting him with the drive-by. That always is pretty...
A little late.
You thought it was late?
A little late.
You thought... Heck, you're thinking it was late too?
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge late. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. I did not have that in my notes. Solo then had him out with a kendo stick and then was taunting him. And then Roman had him up, and he hit a powerbomb through a table.
I like that spot.
He was getting a little wobbly with it. I was a little worried for Solo. I don't know. Solo's a big dude. I mean, Roman was...
Okay, Solo is not a big dude. Solo's like 5'7".
Okay, when I say big, sometimes I mean heavy. So
And he's lost probably 30, 40 pounds.
He's still a heavy guy. Roman seemed like...
tiny.
You could powerbomb Solo today?
With one arm.
All right, there you go. He's demonstrating it right now.
One arm.
Roman had the match won after that, but Tama Tonga came in and pulled the referee out to break up the cover, and this started the parade of running. So then out comes Jacob Fatu, and Fatu is just doing his gyrations. We all say it every time we talk about WWE, man. He is like next up. Like I totally think that he's next up. The crowd was chanting yeet, and then Fatu hit a moonsault. Solo then hit Roman with the Samoan spike. That was a pretty good near fall. And then the referee got... Is this when the ref took a bump? Yeah, I think that's when the ref got bumped there. Chad Patton got bumped, and then out came Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso, and they took out your boy. They took out Tonga and Fatu, and then Jimmy super kicks Solo. Zayn hit a haluva kick. Reigns hit a spear. That was the tease for a near fall. There was no ref, and then another one ref ran down. Solo kicked out, and this is when the crowd starts to pick up into the match here. Hack, you're shaking your head. You didn't enjoy that.
For who? I don't know. I've just seen it.
Yeah, we've all seen this.
Again. Been there, done this.
Out then came Kevin Owens before Roman could go for a spear. He hit him with a stunner, and then Cody came out with his music, and he fought with Kevin Owens, taking him through the crowd. Reigns then were going at it with Solo, and then Roman hit a spear for the pin, and the crowd popped really big for the finish. As a match, this one was just okay for me. I'm going to go 2.5 stars for it. Ollie?
I'll go 3 stars for it.
3?
I thought it was a good way to open the show. I probably would have did without the Owens and Cody part of it, but the other run-in part of it I liked. I mean, everything was pretty quick. It was concise on the run-in part of it, but I thought it was the appropriate amount of time that the match needed, especially for Roman and Solo.
Right.
And the bad blood that's in it, and it was probably one of my favorite Solo matches I watched of them. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad for me.
Hack, what do you give it?
I agree a lot with what Ollie just said. Well, and a lot of it is, I think, to get guys on the show also.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
like
that's
a
what it
Paul
was.
Heyman run through. Here, let's get these two guys out there for this. You know what I mean? Let's get this out there.
Every time I watch one of these Roman bloodline matches, I always think of Raven and stuff, and Heyman and ECW, because it's even though it's different guys and it's different presentation, it's the same shit.
Yep.
It's really you and Raven out there. When I'm watching these things, and there's very good versions of it, and this one was just okay to me. What do you give it as a star rating, Hack? Anything?
Yeah, 3.
3? Ty?
And to your point, Paul was so good in this match.
He was.
If you just watch his facials
yeah,
and
how nervous he was with his hands and
Good
everything.
job, Ty.
and everything he's doing, and to make sure he's always in the camera shot, he's always where he's
To
supposed
make
to
sure
be.
he announces Roman Reigns.
Yes.
which was great. A couple mishaps that shouldn't have happened. When the new ref's coming down and Fatu and the other guy are right in his way, and they see the new ref coming down to count for Roman, they should stop that. What, you know what I'm saying? Your position,
is a great point. That's a great
you
point.
should not be positioned on the aisle when the new ref is coming down.
Totally.
Because
clothesline his ass.
Yeah, why not? You just took out the other one. Why would you take out this guy?
And I know they were trying to be in position for the later thing that happened when he jumped over the top and they caught, I forget who it was.
Sammy and Jay.
Yeah, Sammy
they did
and
the
Jay.
double
They were
dive.
supposed to be in position, but start on the side of the ring, let the new ref come in, and then work your way to the aisle, and then do that spot. Just little stuff like that. But I actually thought it was one of their, the Roman Solo, better matches where I wasn't predicting everything where I normally would. But all in all, like Ollie said, they said, it was a good first match. I will give it a 3.
Okay. So three's all around for you guys. I'm slightly under at a 2.5. The Rock then came out to the ring, and just as Roman was getting up, and then Heyman was going to present the peppers, or the what is it?
The Ulafala.
The Ulafala.
The peppers. That's fine.
Hack always calls them the peppers, so now I do. So then the Rock places them around Roman's neck, and
That's what made me think WrestleMania right there.
Why not shoot the angle on Netflix on the debut show then if you're doing Mania?
Because you got more to go.
I know you do, but what would be hotter than you shoot the angle right there?
Dude, because
If you were going to do something with The Rock, you shoot an angle that night. You didn't do any angles.
They are setting up the angle.
Yeah, they are. It's just slow trickle. I'm telling you,
right.
it's going to be Roman and The Rock at WrestleMania.
It's going to be
New
Roman
people
and
saying,
Punk.
everybody on the planet knows who The Rock is. Okay?
Literally.
And now this is The Rock presenting this dude Roman, who people may or may not know at this point, with, the Ulafala saying,
Great point.
this is, whatever. So he's just, they're establishing that The Rock is gifting this dude something, handing this off of him. And in the opening promo, he was saying, I'm very honored to be now called like the High Chief and this, that, the other. So now people are seeing the quote unquote High Chief represent this thing over this guy Roman Reigns, and that's just establishing a starting point in the eventual
for all
angle.
those people that don't know shit.
Right, for the eventual
Yes,
angle.
That's a very good point, Ty.
Well, I think they should have shot.
Because if you go right into heat right there, people are like, what the fuck's going on? Why is it? Yeah, right.
Huh?
And Paul Heyman is literally morphing into
Paul Bearer.
I swear to God, the same facials, and he's got the same roundness now and everything.
And and especially with the new people, like as soon as Rock has like the turn or the like or whatever, and they'd be like, wait a second, I thought they were together. Or I thought that that's when you get those new people that see the.
All right, I don't see it. I don't.
Well, it's January, so the shit's going to start setting up now.
It is.
My mind is gearing towards where do you go with Solo. And
Solo's probably going to have time off.
Solo you need to do what Solo did to Roman. Jacob Fatu needs to do to Solo, and take over the bloodline from him.
Well, and I think Solo's going to have time off. Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Get him out of sight, out of mind right now.
Yeah, I think he's good. Over the next year, what happens with him is going to really define his career in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
you're high up right now, dude, and it's a long way down.
I know, and it's not like he's a
great worker,
right? He's not like Jimmy or Jey Uso, where they've had a history of tag team wrestling that they can rely on. Like it's going to be very interesting to see what he can do as this angle continues to get into the next stage of it, which is, I think, eventually a feud between Jacob Fatu and him, and Jacob Fatu and Roman, and I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's very interesting.
And hopefully, he's got The Rock and Roman to lead him in the right direction. So
could Jacob Fatu go against what's his name in WrestleMania?
Who?
Solo.
Absolutely, I could see that being a Mania match. Absolutely, yeah. I think that's plausible.
Because
that's fracturing that bloodline.
Yeah, that's plausible.
Then it's in like three different directions.
No, but Solo Roman is pretty much over.
If you ask me,
there's not much meat left on that bone. I think
this match was like the culmination of whatever that was.
Yeah,
that's why my mind is on. All right, where's Solo?
I think
Fatu and Tama Tonga.
I would love to see Jey Uso and Roman, right? Like Jey Uso is somebody who's carved out a level of superstardom in his own right. And
what an entrance!
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. But I would like to see that eventually too.
Yeah,
I would be right there with Pat McAfee. I'd be falling off the table, breaking my ankle, putting Yeet over.
I hope he danced better than Michael Cole. At least. Oh, God, he looked.
No, Mike. No, he was doing that on purpose.
I know he was. He was hamming it up. He was being the dweeby white guy. Yes. No, I know. The next thing that was really up on the show was the John Cena promo. So Cena came out, and Cena's doing this retirement tour. He's going to wrestle one last year. And he was rocking, it was kind of like a LA Dodgers color Cena shirt and hat, blue and white. It was pretty cool. And then Cena put over Netflix, and he really put over Los Angeles too, where it was like the city that he got his start in, wrestling for UPW in Los Angeles. Said he was renting a place down the road in Inglewood, and it was a cool promo that he cut. I really liked the promo, and the fans were into it. And he teased that he was a big loser too, talking about how he has not really won a match in a long, long time. It's pretty crazy, actually, because since he's been popping in here and there, he hasn't really won.
He's been putting talent over on WrestleManias for
a while. He said it was over 2,000 days that he hadn't won a singles match, and then he was just kind of working away.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which Hack pointed out, it was great to say days instead of years and however many days.
It makes it
2,000 just sounds way longer.
Yeah, it does. And he said that he was trying to come up with a way to get back in. He was like, I could win the Money in the Bank briefcase, or win the Elimination Chamber, or win the Royal Rumble. And that's when he said he's entering the Royal Rumble. And he said he's going to win the Rumble and try to make history at WrestleMania. I think this is the direction. Whether or not he wins the Rumble, or
he ain't winning the Rumble.
I think you should have him as the last three.
Totally has to be in there in the finals.
And he loses.
I'm fine with him slipping and falling and not getting it, but then winning the Chamber the next month to get the title shot at Mania.
I'd like to see him win the Money in the Bank.
Well, yeah, because you're bringing everybody up like he's going to win the Rumble and then
take it away, then give it to him the next month.
Right.
Have him really overcome something, because then he could continue to play up this "I'm a loser" thing. I still haven't won a match. You know what I mean? I was right there, and I don't know if I have it anymore. And then he somehow pulls out the Elimination Chamber. I think we're getting Cena and Cody at Mania. I think that's the match.
Well, he's definitely going to be there because, it's Netflix now. You want The Rock there. You want Cena there. You want The Undertaker there. You know what I'm saying? Just like this show, Undertaker takes a lap around the ring in his bike and then just rolls.
We'll get to that in the next match.
So you're going baby at Mania?
I think you are, yeah. And
and you think Punk and Roman.
Another baby.
Okay, which one of them's taking the belt off Gunther?
I don't think Gunther's involved in that. I don't think that's
so you
title
think
match.
It's just going to be Punk and Roman?
Yeah.
And you think Punk's going to be okay with having a WrestleMania match without a belt?
As long as it's in the main event.
That's the reason why he left last time.
No, he left because he didn't have the main event at Mania. It wasn't about a belt. He just wanted to main event Mania. That was his big thing that he never got to do.
You really don't main event Mania unless you have the fucking belt.
You can with the 2 nights. You can with the 2 nights. They've had women's matches. They've had tag matches.
They did it last year with Rock and Roman.
The past
and
2 nights.
No, that's a tag match. That's not a singles match.
They had Austin and Kevin Owens main event at the 1 year with no belt involved. I mean, you don't need the belt to do Punk and Roman.
Bitch.
I'm just saying, is Punk going to be... You think Punk's okay with that?
I think if Punk's main event in the night at WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, if there's a belt, if there's no belt, he's fine with it. Yes.
I think Punk's happy as shit right now.
I do too. I think Punk is... Punk got to main event this show, which is definitely a feather in his cap.
I would have been pretty fucking happy if I was CM Punk last time.
Yeah, but Punk's... Yeah, I know what you're saying, Ollie.
No, but I also would have felt slapped in the face.
Right. Like, I've worked this hard, and I still haven't gotten the opportunity.
And he was the champ, and he was the champ, and he wasn't the main event, right?
He lost it to The Rock. He lost it to The Rock before Rock Cena the 1 year. And then he wrestled Taker.
I thought he was the champ, and then he still wasn't the main event.
I'm trying to remember if that was... My memory is a bit fuzzy with that. We'll have to take a look into that.
Yeah, I want to say that, and that's why he was like, I can be your fucking champ, but I can't main event WrestleMania. I think that because it was like a Austin Rock, like Triple H, like Cena type thing that happened, and he was like, dude, like, yeah, I think that's what happened.
My memory's a bit fuzzy from that time period. I'm gonna have to take a look at it. Check.
But I would have felt the same exact way as him.
No, I hear you, man. So that was the Cena promo. Then they had a bunch of celebrities in the crowd, man. The celebrities that they had, this was like a UFC feel. Like they had, what was the comedian's name? Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. Mm-hmm. They had Ashton Kutcher, Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. They had Seth Green, and then the biggest pop of the night, I texted you, Ollie, Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
I mean, Macaulay Culkin got a superhero reaction. Like, and
he's been going to WWE events since he's been...
My
star of Home Alone.
Yeah, Ty, that's your boy Macaulay Culkin, and
I got his spot in ECW, bitch.
he got a huge reaction though, which was awesome. Like out of all the celebrities, they showed like Topanga later. And by the way, Pat McAfee, man, how did you not notice that was Eric Matthews right next to Topanga? Did not shout out Eric Matthews.
Nobody cued him.
Nobody cued him, but I knew on the couch. I'm like, that's Eric Matthews, man. Give him a shout. Come on, man.
Who's Eric Matthews?
It's our co-star.
You never watched Boy Meets World at all, Hack?
No.
No, he's not even close. But Topanga could still,
Yes.
Absolutely. She's fine wine right there, Topanga. The next match on the show, man, like this felt like it was forever in between first match and second match at this point for the show. It was probably...
Well, it was like a half hour.
It was more than that. It was probably like 9:45 by the time this one got to the ring.
I didn't really notice it, to be honest. I was just like... pretty infatuated with the presentation that was going on.
It was Rhea Ripley taking on Liv Morgan for the women's title. So I think it was supposed to be a last woman standing match, and then they kind of changed it. I remember them advertising at some point for the last woman standing. I thought this was a pretty good match. They did a lot of cool stuff. I liked Morgan hitting a code breaker on the ring apron. That was a cool spot. Rhea did a pretty nice comeback, hitting a riptide for a near fall. And then she did like the shocked face, which I'm just like so tired of. Please, wrestlers.
Every time I see that now, I think of you. The shock
I
face.
can't stand it. Like everyone, look, if you kick out of, you know what? If you kick out of like a Undertaker tombstone or something, I'm fine with him doing a shocked face or something. But at Mania, but like, come on, just.
I agree.
It's too much. It's too much with the shocked face. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, it should be more frustrated, not shocked.
Right, frustrated, and then go right back at him again.
I know, it's like, what do you mean everyone kicks out of 3 finishers now? Like,
Yeah.
Are you really that shocked?
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Maybe if you kicked out of the third finisher, then no shocked faces unless it's the third finisher. That's
Right.
your new
Like,
rule.
what are we talking about here?
Then Dom got in the ring with a chair, and the refs yelling at him. And then Rhea knocked off Raquel Rodriguez, who was on the ring apron. And then that allowed Morgan to hit Oblivion onto the chair, and that was a good near fall as well. And then Morgan was going with the Eddie Guerrero tribute with the Three Amigos, and then the Frog Splash. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Shitty frog splash.
Yeah, it was okay. It was more like it was okay.
The Three Amigos was way more impressive doing it to Rhea
Absolutely, yeah,
at Liv size.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Rhea then, Morgan went for another Oblivion. Rhea caught her, slammed her, and then she hit back-to-back Riptides, got the win. And then Dom post-match, this was great. Dom is like sneaking up behind her, and he's like trying to attack her. And the crowd's just been waiting for this. Rhea then just immediately acted like she wanted to embrace him, and then she faked like hugging him, and then she kicked him right in the nuts, and then she gave him the Riptide. And,
Oh, my nuts.
yeah, oh my balls. Hopefully this is the end of the feud. I think that this needs to I think she needs to move on, do something else from this. But I thought it was all right. I think I would give it like, again, this is kind of like 2.5 stars for me. I didn't think it was anything great. And then, as you mentioned, Hack 2, post-match, Undertaker coming out on his motorcycle. He drove around ringside.
And she's just like standing there, like she don't even know. Like she was surprised he was out there.
Well,
No,
she
I
threw
think-
up the fist. She wanted. You did it for the camera shot of both of them throwing up their fists like that, like
I
Taker
think
used to do.
she didn't know that he was coming out.
Oh, okay.
I took a look on on her face was like.
Yeah.
Well,
She was like laughing.
Well, and if you noticed, Undertaker gave her like 2 or 3 different cues at the end, like, yo, do that. Like, he was like, yo, do this. And then they posed this. And then he was like, yo, look back. And then they both looked back. And then he gave her like the next cue, like whatever. So, like, I think she was shocked, like, didn't know that he was coming out after that.
It was a nice
But-
little nod.
And that would be hilarious if something like that would go on. 263 million households, and you're just winging shit.
No, but I think, like,
I agree with Ty.
I think
kinda
she
think
shoot straight
the
up
more
was
you-
like, yeah, like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, and she acted fucking great to it. Like, she was like, oh fuck.
it's got to be cool for her to have somebody like Undertaker come out and put you over too. I mean, that's like really really cool stuff.
She deserves it.
And do you
she
think,
does.
And do you think that, like, they would do something like that to maybe like reward Rhea in like a sense, like personally, like she won the belt and she's like, she knows she's going over, but then like, you know, just give her a little something extra as a company and like the Undertaker comes out and like she doesn't even know she's gonna end the scene with the Undertaker, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
just give you
a little nice
give
moment
one of
for
your
you.
talents like just a little shock, like
Yeah.
that you don't even know. You know, keep shit fresh, like whatever. Like that would be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. What do you give the match, Ollie?
I'll give it like 2.5. It probably was a little quick, like that. I think. I mean, it only went 11 minutes, and at first I was kind of shocked by the result of Rhea winning. But now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I guess it kind of makes sense because the Rumble's not till February 1st, so it's still kind of long to keep their feud going. Because it seems like it's getting stale with the crowd and everything
Definitely.
like that about now. So I guess this was like the next best option was to do it on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I love the belt being on Rhea, so I like it.
Do they think Rhea's more palatable to a new audience than the other girl?
Totally. I think Rhea has crossover potential. Like, I think she's got, I think her look is like as good as anybody's look in the business. What did you think of the match?
Yeah, it's got mommy in it. Gives a 3 minimum.
Okay. Okay. Ty, what do you give it?
Nah, it was good. I think. What was the last one they did? What pay-per-view? I can't remember.
It wasn't
but-
Survivor Series. It was the one before that.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty equivalent. The only thing I'm shocked it was that clean. The finish was that clean.
Oh, it's definitive. I think this program's done.
Yeah, like
I think it was a blow-off.
They did like the semi-interference, and I wish they got to the finish quicker after that interference because there was like a lull period, and then, but maybe that's why they wanted it that way. Like super clean finish, like that was it.
Yeah.
But and just McAfee's McAfee's commentary, "Dirty Dom, you scumbag piece of shit," whatever he's talking about.
I can't count to three.
Yeah, that and like his interactions with Dom. Like McAfee was great the whole night, but he's just so good when he's just calling Dom a scumbag and all this other shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was about a 3 match for me.
Okay, next up on the show was an interview with, what was this? Oh, Gable, Chad Gable. So this, I guess Pentagon was supposed to debut on the show, but they didn't have time for it or whatever. So then they kind of teased the match for next week where he's talking about luchadors and stuff. So we're going to be seeing Pentagon.
We saw the little Penta logo that they
the
had.
vignette earlier in the show. So
I mean,
it's
he's
inevitable.
coming.
He's coming. You thought he was going to be on this show with a tag and Rey Mysterio, but that got cut as well. So
No, but it's actually good for them to kick it off next week like that.
right, you got to spread some of this stuff out too. You don't want to overload one show
why
and
not?
then have people for the week after and the week after that. You know what I mean? You want to kind of spread it out a little bit. Up next on the show was, I don't know. Travis Scott is in the crowd, and Travis Scott is. Hector, are you aware of Travis Scott, man?
Seriously?
You don't know Astro World or anything, or? I had to ask. I know, but I have to ask.
The man doesn't even listen to music.
I know. I have to ask though. I have to ask to see if he knows.
Like in the
you know,
car,
so-
it's sports radio what he's listening to. Hack's not like, yeah, let me put on 98.1.
Yeah, I don't know if you're listening to anything.
He knows who Taylor Swift is.
Yeah, you know
mean,
a couple people.
yeah.
Travis Scott is huge.
Yeah,
huge.
but I only know who Taylor Swift is because of Kelsey. I wouldn't have known who she was 2 years ago.
Okay.
I wouldn't have been able to. If you showed me a picture of her, I would not have known her name.
You really wouldn't.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Wow, that's. I mean, yeah, you're just.
I don't pay attention to any of that stupid stuff. I read news.
You would like Travis Scott though, especially like highest in the room. I mean, that's something that could really speak to you.
I'm always the highest in the room.
No, I know. He's smoking the blunt. He comes out and he's smoking the blunt.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, that was Travis Scott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So is he over with you now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now you like.
Because he was with Yeet.
He was with Yeet and he's hitting the blunt coming out of the entrance.
Which was fucking hilarious.
It was really
great. I'm like, is he smoking a joint?
It honestly made the entire match for me, and I had to tweet it out. Chris from Vancouver did it first. Sorry, Travis Scott. You're not the first person to hit weed on a
On the
WWE
Survivor
production.
Series, pre-show.
Yeah, maybe Chris from Vancouver was hitting it on a Survivor Series pre-show, but he did beat you by a couple months there, Travis. So sorry for that one, buddy. But the crowd was so into it, and it was such a cool camera shot of that stadium and everybody
That
doing
whole
the
place bumping like that, dude. That's electric.
Yeah,
It is.
That's straight electric.
V-Man walked so Travis Scott could run.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he
Walked all
did.
the way to fucking Lincoln Financial Field. He did.
Wait, through some what greenery or
No,
something?
enjoying our green grass.
He was enjoying our green grass all the way there. This match between Drew Mack and Yeet Man was just okay. I didn't think it was anything special. It was, it's more about the moment than the match, I feel like, for this. And
Well, and you're definitely getting the entrance on for your new Netflix, like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You're definitely putting that on.
And just rubbing elbows with a guy of Travis Scott's level is big for the business and stuff like that, too. And it's big for his career.
He's that big, Travis Scott?
Yeah, well, he's got a documentary on Netflix, and I think he streamed one of his latest concerts on Netflix.
He's got a kid with Kylie Jenner.
He's huge, Hack. I mean, he's gigantic.
Kylie Jenner's
I know who Jenner is.
Kardashian,
Yeah, you know who Jenner-
Well, I just had to,
I know the Jenner name.
You keep up with the Kardashians, but not Travis.
Nah, well, that girl's got an ass that goes a long way.
Which one?
Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
Not Chloe.
Ooh.
Kim.
All right.
Do you know who she
Because
was?
Chloe's OJ's daughter.
Oh, that's the rumor. There's
Chloe's, look at the difference. Look at the facial features, everything.
That is a
the
rumor.
other ones are all better looking. She's the least good looking one. Because the dad was a good looking guy.
Robert Kardashian.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of
she's 6 foot. They're all 5'4".
Okay, that's a good theory right there. Back to this match, it was okay. McIntyre hit him with a Claymore kick for a near fall. He went for another Claymore, but Jay fell down, which I always like as a sell, like the guy falling down before the guy can hit the move. McIntyre then was just waiting in the corner for him to get up, and then he went for the kick. Jay dropped down, and then he just hit him with that crucifix pin for the finish. It was kind of a quick finish, but this was a nothing match to me. I didn't really think a whole lot of this match. I'm going to go 1.5 stars for this. Ollie, what do you give it?
Go 1 for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay, I guess, but I don't really like the finish, to be honest.
It was just like an out of nowhere finish. I think it was more to protect McIntyre.
I think it makes McIntyre look bad.
Like a goof.
Kinda, yeah. And it's like, the dude's too strong to be getting pinned like that.
Not when you're crucified. If it was a roll-up, I would have said yes.
Roll up is more like banana peel. Like you shouldn't lose that way to me, but I agree. Crucifix.
Yeah, crucifix is both your arms are pinned, legitimately pinned. Like
To me, it's still weak, but I don't know.
Okay, but think about this. Are they sending a message there? Is Jeet on his way up and McIntyre on his way down?
No,
I mean, Drew's been pretty strong for pretty long.
Drew's had a really good 2024.
Run, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he's good needs to step. I mean, just Jeet's freaking his entrance is like God.
Yes, I think it's more. If you look at the show, I think
He could have beat tons of other dudes on that in that roster than Drew. Drew's pretty damn strong.
You want to do big matches on the show, and I feel like they want to put all the faces over on the show too.
Every face did go over.
Every face did go over. Yeah.
Yeah. Every face went over on the show.
The main event was baby, but everything else was all babies. So it's kind of I don't know. I think What did you think of the match though, Hack? What do you give it?
I didn't even care.
You didn't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I went outside and smoked.
Okay. Yeah, it was a fun. It was a
Seriously.
fun. It was a fun match. It was like a 2 for me.
No history, no nothing.
But for me, the finish for me was it was a way to not make anybody look bad.
Right.
The finish.
Yeah.
You know, it was like Drew was so on top, but man, Jay just got him.
Right.
Like,
It protects Drew by
protects both of them too.
Yeah.
So I think so.
They did a bunch of backstage stuff. There was a Gunther video. There was an interview with Fluffy.
I didn't even realize that they put all the babies over.
Yeah. I mean, it was only
I don't like it now that I think
It was only a 4-match show.
In retrospect, I'm thinking about it.
I mean, you kind of had to for most of those matches.
No, you don't.
Well, Roman had to go over
Make
solo.
him pissed.
Yeah, but the thing is, new audience, is a heel getting over really gonna do like the baby's getting over sets you up more for the heel in the long run.
You have the heel beat somebody freaking that. Well, I don't know.
There was no angles on the show either. I mean, it was all just yeah. It was all
But that's
just
what I'm saying. Like everybody's up,
yeah.
kind of thing.
The New Day was backstage with
I'm so done with them.
Fluffy. They're good now that they're heels. You don't like the heel turn?
I don't like. It's Vince now, not the new guys, but Vince always had a team like that, a black team like that. You know what I mean? No matter who it was, a lot of them were more jokesters than like real. You know what I mean? But I think these guys are there just to have black guys there.
I don't see that
really
with them. I think they're actually doing really good work. You pointed this out.
Their work blows. Their work blows. They're like they're like dancing out there.
No, now that they've turned heel, they've kind of gotten into a next. I disagree with you, man.
Well, they were doing
stuff.
doing the dance stuff because they were the New Day, and it was New Day Rocks and the Bootios and like that's what it was. But now that they've turned heel, I'm interested to see how
take a second look.
Now, I'm just saying, now that they've turned to heel, I'm interested to see like where that goes because they were 10 to 15 years of the same shit. I mean, one of the most decorated tag teams. So
I think your criticism that you have, Hack, about their treatment of black talent there a lot of times is spot on when it comes to like R-Truth, right? Like there's stuff You've pointed that out so many times,
Yeah.
and you've talked about Crime Time and different things like that over the years, where it's stereotypical fucking bullshit performance and characters that is, it's not cool, and I agree with it, but I don't think the New Day is one of those things. So I disagree there.
I'll take another look.
Yeah. There was a segment with Heyman and Roman Reigns backstage. They asked about an acknowledgement celebration ceremony, and then Reigns said, "We'll see you on January 27th." That's a Raw in Atlanta. And then they entered a room with the WWE 2K25 logo on the door. I'm guessing Roman's going to be the cover guy for the 2K25 game. Up next, there was an interview with Rhea Ripley.
What?
What do you mean, what?
They're not going to put Cody there?
I think Cody was on the
Cody
cover
was
of
last
last year. This game.
Yeah, Cody was
okay.
last year.
I think they probably split it up and stuff. So
Well, I mean, Roman was the champ for like 1,500 days, and he didn't get the cover. You know what? He hasn't been on the cover yet. I don't think.
I don't get the game, so I don't know. I know Cody was on the
I
cover
don't
last
think
year.
Roman's been. Maybe he's been on one, but
I don't know.
I just want to be in the damn game.
There you go. Hopefully, Axon
They haven't asked me yet.
the hardcore pack.
With an 89 power rating.
So you can beat up on Sami Zayn again.
Sami Zayn kills Hack with the haluva kick every time.
I never see it coming.
They showed a bunch more celebrities in the crowd. There was the sports guy Bill Simmons at one point was in the crowd. They had Tiffany Haddish, Stephen Amell, Braun Breaker, Tiffany Stratton, who got a big reaction as the new
Did you
women's
see
champ.
when Nikki Bella did her thing and Bill Simmons was trying to be like,
And you're not gonna, I'm not Fox Sport over here, man. I'm not looking at this woman.
He was like looking over at his son, like,
I'm a
dude,
faithful
like,
married man. He was
She was
really
shaking her ass right in his
That was
face.
the same look that LA Knight had when Pac was getting over next to him. And I think they announced one when they should have been announcing the other, and the camera kept
They
going
buzzed
back.
that a couple
They
different
did.
times.
They did mess that up. And then they also showed Stephanie McMahon, who was at the show.
X-Pac looked
You
good.
think she was sitting out there the whole show, Hack, Stephanie?
Hell no.
X-Pac did look awesome, man. It was cool to see him there.
Healthy. Good to see him.
Yeah, really good to see him. Out next
Great
was
dude.
the Hulkster. Hulk Hogan came out with Jimmy Hart. Look, the Hulkster. Look, it has been diminishing results since they have brought him back after the racist video that he had leaked a couple, probably like almost a decade ago. And it's not. I don't think it's. I've seen a lot of people talk online about it's because California and LA. It's a blue state, red state kind of thing. And I don't want to get into a whole political thing, but there's a lot of guys on the show that
I
came
thought
out.
that was a lot of it.
I don't think it was
I don't
because
think it had anything to do with it.
I don't think it did either, Hack, because
Well, no, he showed
it's
up.
wrestling.
No, it's not.
Taker came out, got a great reaction. We all know where he's
He's on
But-
Trump.
and we all know where Triple H. Where was he on New Year's Eve? He was at Mar-a-Lago, and
But Hogan was on that, the presidential, not the debate,
he was at a thing. He was at a thing with Trump and
the
stuff.
huge fucking thing,
Yeah.
where it was Hulk Hogan, Dana White, and
Yeah, it was a
whatever,
lot
and they
of
were like
people.
public
what was
on
that?
CNN. That was
It was something. It was
the
some rally or something.
whatever the fuck it was. That's why I think because he was center stage of that.
No, they were on stage with him when he won that night. They were all on stage with him the night he won the election.
Yeah, it was-
Every Dana White was on there. Everybody was on there.
Yes, I don't think it. I think it's more. Number one, we're talking. It's like 30 some years removed from his prime of like the 90s, at least. It's not that, but it's also his character that he's never really tried to like make amends or anything for the comments
Yeah,
he
but
made.
he's been back since then.
You
And
don't
he's
ever want to bring that up.
and
and
he's
didn't
and he's
get
gotten
booed.
and he's been booed. He got booed. He got booed at a WrestleMania in Tampa when they brought him back after.
His hometown.
His hometown in Tampa, he got
I don't
booed.
remember that.
He did. He got
Wait,
booed.
Not
There's a
booed
clear
like
one.
this.
He got booed, and he tried to come out with I think like
Unless
Titus.
they covered it up or
They
whatever.
they
but-
did. He got booed in that building, man, in Tampa. And when I heard that, I was like, man. And I think part of it is, whatever political side you're on or whatever, people don't respect when people aren't genuine.
Yeah.
And Hogan has proven over a long period of time that he is not genuine, and the audience sees that. And I think that they're just tired of this guy. and they just boot him out of the building.
Well, you can apologize and kind of come clean, but he's all.
You
but
don't
it's
bring
like
that shit up ever again.
No, I'm just saying, like, if something were to happen like that, you can apologize, come clean, which he never ended up really doing.
No, and I heard Mark Henry's comments on it, and it sounded like he never really made amends to a lot of the black talent and stuff in the company and in the wrestling business. So I know how he feels as a black guy with the comments and stuff. So it's, the Hulkster, obviously the legend that he is in the business. I don't know if WWE is going to be using him.
That's not new people booing him. That's people that have known him for years that are old-time wrestling fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No new person's booing him. They don't know who the hell he is.
Right. And it kind of was sad when he ripped off.
Some people could be new and just never been wrestling fans and heard Hulk Hogan was a racist.
Yeah. And it was
You know what I'm saying?
You know what the sad thing, too, is when he struggled to rip off the shirt, and it's, like, hanging around his legs as he's, like, you could tell he can't even walk that well. And that's, he's 70-some years old at this point.
I was praying that he went full heel turn.
Oh,
and just
God.
I was hoping somebody was going to come out and beat the shit out of him.
I'm with you.
I'm like, maybe that's why he's in that area right there, right through the tunnel. They're going to come out.
Did you see when he was coming out, like, the people in the tunnel that were, like, videotaping and, like, did you see that beforehand? I'm like, who the hell are these people?
I felt bad for Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South.
Having to wing that freaking... He was blown up.
Yeah, he was. He was blown up.
Shaking that flag.
Yeah, so that was that. They next up on the show was the CM Punk match with Seth Rollins. So this one's been like almost a year in the making since Punk came back at Survivor Series last year. Rollins has been cutting a lot of promos on Punk. They were gonna probably have a match at Mania if Punk didn't get hurt at the Rumble. And they've kind of been building up to this off and on for a whole year. I thought this match was good, but it didn't hit like a great level to me, and I was a little bit disappointed with the work. What did you feel about the match,
I feel
Ollie?
the same way you feel.
Yeah, like I kind of felt very similar to like the first time Drew Mack and Punk wrestled, where it was like you've been building up this issue to this real heavy heat thing, and the match didn't deliver to the level that the heat was there and the promos were, because the promo work between the two of them, I think it's probably been the strongest I've ever heard Rollins on the mic. Like Rollins on the mic to build up to this has been super, super strong. And Punk has been, Punk is Punk. He's great on the mic. But the match to me, it didn't get to a level where I was like, this is a real heated rivalry or anything like that. What did you think of the match, Hack?
I think this is the one I went out to smoke on. I'm done with... neither one... This feud does nothing for me.
This one.
For some reason.
It doesn't hit you.
Yeah, it does nothing for me.
Okay. I mean, I thought the match was, at some points, it was... Punk took a lot of offense, and he kicked out of a bunch. The one GTS that Rollins gave him, I saw a slow-mo clip of it on Twitter this week, man.
It's all live.
Dude, he took that one right on the chin, man. That was like right on the head. Like, I was like watching...
what, the knee?
Yeah, the go to sleep. The one that Rollins hit him with was really awesome. What'd you think of the work in the match, Ty?
I thought that they were trying to make a statement by laying stuff in. Now, I don't know necessarily the GTS was one of them, but you could tell the punches and everything that they were throwing were, whether it was hitting them on the back, like they were making sound, everything they were throwing. And I think Rollins putting his boot in Punk's face in the corner and they were trying to portray what they were trying to portray, like the hatred and stuff there. I'm not necessarily sure Punk can put out a match, and I don't know if Seth Rollins can put out a match right now that can equal what might have been 5 years too late for what, the thing that was there, like...
I know what you're saying, like a little bit...
I don't know if they have that match in them
anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if they have that match in them.
If they have that next gear.
Right. And that's why I feel like they were, it was like, hey, I'm using his finisher, he's using my finisher, I'm going to lay these punches in, I'm going to, try and make this vitriol seem as real as it is, because I don't think they have that in them right now.
No, it's a good point.
And
I mean...
If you saw what I'd say, Seth is still chubby. From when I said it, 6 months ago or 8 months ago or whatever, but he's not in I don't know if he's just
not able to work out at the level he used to be.
For whatever it is. Like, I think he's still a great worker, but for whatever reason, it is what it is.
You got to get off the gas sometimes.
Whatever it is. I thought
The growth, the gas, whatever.
he was always kind of a tiny dude. Seth was never really a big dude.
He was
chiseled.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he
That's
was
growth.
ripped.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then he had the kid with back end was probably like.
And he had a lot of knee injuries, which maybe he's not able to do the cardio and some of the stuff as much as he used to.
So, but yeah, I just don't think they have that match in them, and this was kind of just the culmination, and then hopefully now they can move forward.
I'm not asking to see a Will Ospreay match, but
but
I think they can turn it up a little.
I think they can too, especially I think Punk towards the tail end of his AEW run, I started to wonder if he was slipping a little bit in the ring, and you haven't seen him really in the WWE run besides the Hell in the Cell match. Now he's only had a handful of matches.
Right, which Hell in the Cell isn't a shit ton of work.
It's smart. It's smart work.
But it's not spotting.
Which Punk can totally do all day long.
Right.
But I don't know if Punk has that next gear all the time anymore. I thought this was good. I kind of, towards the end, when Rollins did the superplex, where he usually does the superplex Falcon Arrow, and then Punk just no-sold it, hit the GTS, and then kind of gets the other one for the finish. It was kind of a weird finish to me. This wasn't bad by any means, but for what it was built up to, I was underwhelmed by it. I'm going to go with 3 stars for the match. Ollie, what do you give it?
I'm going 3.5.
Okay. Hack?
I think they both still got it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe not still have it to go on a year run with a strap. You know what I'm saying? And actually have to work, not like Roman having the strap or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I think they still both can have great matches. But if I'm them, I'm looking at what I'm doing and really how far down on the card, if you think about what's going on in that company, how far down are they?
They just main evented
They
that
main evented
show.
the first Netflix show, which is a huge thing. That is a huge accomplishment for them. It is. And I think Punk's going to be in the main event of one of these Mania nights.
Over Roman Solo.
I think Punk's going to be in one of the nights of Mania.
I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. Just with that, the whole card with the card. No, I think you could have put Roman and Solo in that same spot.
Yes, you could have. I'm surprised it wasn't. The fact that Punk was in the main event said something.
I don't think that the WWE universe looks at that as a top tier feud.
I disagree. I think Punk
I think they do.
I think Punk is as over as anybody in that company.
I disagree totally.
I think he's right up there with the Romans and the Codys.
No way. He's nowhere near Roman, nowhere near Cody.
I think he's a little step below them, but I think he's right there. I think that's the top tier is Roman, Cody. I think Punk is in the very next tier.
Agree.
And I would say he's probably the number 3 over guy in the company.
I'd put them all in the same one.
You think they're all in the same tier? Yeah. Okay. All right.
All a superstar.
The Hack's rolling his eyes. Ty agrees. All right, whatever. As a show, though, look, the presentation, top notch. I wasn't really that impressed with a lot of the stuff that we saw in the ring on this one, so I don't know. I wasn't.
No, but it seems like a lot of stuff's coming to an end, and we get to see maybe some new directions for some new wrestlers, so I'm intrigued to see what's to come for Netflix and where they're going to go.
Yeah, well, then where's Rhea going?
I don't know.
Is she going with Tiffany?
No, they're not going to do belt.
Where's Rhea going? I don't think that's over.
She's the champ.
I know, but I don't think that's over.
She gets
your champ has to have another opponent.
Yes, the Royal Rumble in what 2.5 weeks.
So they got to wait till the Royal Rumble for her to have an opponent.
She'll have a program in between Mania too. I don't know what her direction is.
She might wrestle between there, and they'll find somebody to wrestle her. But
there wasn't a lot of direction for the future set up on the show.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I've been saying. I wanted angles on the show. I wanted some other than the Cena thing, where you have.
And you're saying
it's the ending of angles.
Yeah, but you're saying
we'll get the start of them on another show.
It wasn't the ending of the Punk angle.
I think it kind of was.
The ending of the Roman angle.
I think it kind of was.
I disagree with you.
You
You think the Roman angle's over?
I think with Solo,
yeah.
That's no way.
Didn't you just say?
No, I
after
never
we were
said that.
reviewing the match that the meat on the bone is pretty much done with.
I
that?
did. I know I did.
There is no way that's over.
Solo just took, or Roman just took the peppers from. It was a fight for the peppers, and Roman won. There is no more peppers.
Okay, so now he wants to come back and do banner shit to him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the end of that feud, dude.
What is this, Home Alone?
Macaulay Culkin was there.
Hey, I'm telling you, you're totally right.
All right.
Both instances.
We'll see. But, guys, next week on the show, we are covering ECW Guilty as Charged 2001.
Oh, hell yeah.
This was the final...
Really? We're covering the final episode of ECW?
We are. 'Cause
early?
it's the time of the year where they just had the anniversary of it.
Oh, that's true, I guess.
And,
All right.
and Hack was in the main event.
was?
You won.
Yeah,
the,
you were.
You
You were
were
actually somewhat of a beast in that match.
You were a beast in that match. So,
And you actually launched a beer can like 50 yards into the second deck of the Hammerstein, which is actually probably the most impressive thing you did in the match.
Was it underhand?
I know. I don't know if my shoulder was blown out of
I
there.
can't wait to see this. It's definitely a cool show, and it's a pretty historical show as well, with the last televised show that ECW ever had. So, got a lot of notes.
Was that the one with Rhino BB?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did I win the three-way before that?
Yep.
Is that the one where he put peaches through the table?
No,
that one?
we already covered that one before. But as always, guys, send in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. Up first, Pat from Ventura, California writes in,
Hi, Pat. We've heard from you
How you
before.
doing, Pat?
"What's up, Hack and
Get
Gang?
out of there.
Get out of there. Hope
I
everybody's
hope everything's all right, buddy.
hope everybody is safe. That's in LA.
No, he's fine in Ventura.
He's fine in
He's
Ventura.
nowhere
but-
near them fires right now.
But just giving a shout out to anybody impacted by the fires.
Yeah,
that's listening.
seriously, that's horrible.
27,000 acres.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it's not under control, zero.
Yeah, no, I know. It's
going to get way, way, way worse.
I know. It's a really awful stuff. But hopefully, anybody listening to this that's affected by that, our
Can you
thoughts are going
imagine
out
how
to you
much
guys.
that property's going to be
All
worth?
that money we sent to Ukraine.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right. Question. Uncle Hack, have any fond childhood, adolescent, or adult cartoons? I was born in 91, and my parents are a few years older than the Sandman. My favorite cartoons are Speed Racer, Beavis and Butthead, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Do you watch any cartoons, Hack?
Well, you have to understand. No. I didn't get that one in. Well, no, Speed Racer when you're a kid because you didn't have nothing else when you came home.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was like Speed Racer and the Banana Splits. But I always loved the Mighty Heroes with Cuckoo Man, Diaper Man, Tornado Man.
Mighty Heroes.
That was one of my favorites.
No, TV for my mom.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good impression there, Ty.
Dude, the new Beavis and Butthead, fucking hilarious.
Great.
I love
Really
Beavis
good.
and Butthead.
I gotta
Yeah,
check
it's
it out.
good.
I love Mike Judge, King of the Hill, and Beavis and Butthead. And
King of the Hill might be the worst show ever.
no,
in
it's
the history
great.
of the
You're so
planet.
wrong. I'm
You'll
going to
probably
cane you
hate
after
Beavis
this.
and Butthead. Me and Al will sit here and just piss ourselves
No,
watching
it's just
Beavis and Butthead. It's hilarious.
It's actually great. You're wrong, Hack.
Dude, the newer ones are even better. You
I
gotta
gotta check it out.
Shut up, Beavis.
Doug, the professor from Orangeburg, South Carolina, writes in.
Professor.
He's the official historical expert of the Sandman podcast. To the Pecan Sandies. So after the Armenia reply, I figured it was my turn to inquire. I heard Joey Styles say that originally Paul Heyman wanted to use Time for Some Akazon by Redman instead of War Machine for Taz. But Taz won out. Frankly, I think Redman would have been a better theme, but that's just me. So in a similar vein, Hack, aside from the fact that you played the Sandman, hence your theme music, if you went by your birth name as a wrestler, what other 2 or 3 songs would you have used as a ring intro? I'm just curious as what kind of music you're into.
I came out to Billy Joel, Big Shot.
Oh, that's a great
What,
song.
the surfboard?
No, before the surfboard.
Really? That's a
yeah,
great
be
song.
Big shot.
Yeah, well, actually, I did have it with the surfboard when I
Yeah.
went down to USWA because a guy made a tape for me, highlights of me down there to that song.
I
which-
remember that fucking video.
Wow.
That could be downstairs in the basement in the box of those.
Yeah, it
what are
might
those
be.
tapes? 8 tracks or
VHS.
God, you
Dude, I was in high school when this was an 8 track in your car.
Shazam.
Yeah.
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 All
Dude,
right.
I'm old.
I know. It's just funny.
we know,
And
Grandpa.
we know.
Poppy Hack.
That's cool. Any other songs pop out besides Big Shot, Billy Joel? No.
Rock the Casbah, baby.
That'd be a good one for you. Heart
I
Attack.
love the Clash.
Heart Attack Rick writes in.
All right, Ricky.
It was great meeting all you guys and the SVW guys at the
You
party.
too, Rick. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
The shirt is sick as fuck. Watching Hack jam out to Biggie and Prince was great and hilarious. It actually really was. My question for Hack this week
Biggie's great.
is how did he prep his kendo sticks to his liking before using them? Did he leave all the string on them or did he rip all that shit off?
The round red strings are the whole thing about that cane. If I'm wrestling somebody that I didn't like, I had the strings real tight on it. But if it was somebody I liked, I would loosen them all up. It's a baseball bat difference.
When you sometimes stomp on the cane too to loosen it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, because even if you pull the two red strings down, freaking, it's still a little bit tight. So I would bend it over my knee a little bit like that, so I'm not killing somebody out there.
Okay, so who got the tight cane then? That's what I want to know. Give me an example.
No,
The Blues
maybe
Brothers.
guys like Balls.
Balls?
Well, yeah, just because he was tough as shit.
Oh, okay. You went.
Well, and he would stiff you with the chair, so you're like,
A little receipt there.
I
Okay.
ain't blocking that chair. You ain't blocking this game, bitch.
Little tick for tat. Okay. Mike from Memphis, Tennessee writes in.
Yeah, that might sounds new.
Huge fan of the pod, and I've been since Mania, and I haven't missed an episode since. Thanks for listening, Mike.
Appreciate it.
Just to start, I got to put Hack over because if it weren't for me finding a clip of his entrance from One Night Stand as a kid, I would have fell out of love of wrestling. As an aspiring wrestler myself, the vibe in the ballroom during that moment is what I desire from the business. Anyways, my question is, being from Memphis, I've seen some wild-ass shit, so I was curious if you had any wild-ass stories from your time in Memphis and any standout moments from working there.
No, I was just green as grass, so dude, I wasn't crazy fucking Hack when I was down there.
You were on your behavior.
Well, yeah.
Well, it was before Hack met the 8 balls and the fucking.
He said, P.S. I start my wrestling training at Memphis Championship Wrestling in January or February, and I've been keeping what Hack says about punches in mind, and I got to keep that Memphis legacy going. All right, Mike, man.
Good luck,
job.
Mike, man.
Watch some
Keep us updated.
Yeah, watch some Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee and anybody in Memphis because all those guys down there,
Great punches.
great punches in the
Sell
business.
your hand, Mike.
Sell the hand, Mike. Do it for Hack, man. And good luck.
Do it for the pod.
Yeah, do it for the pod. Do it for the sake of the business because all these guys punches suck.
Seriously.
Ryan from East Hampton, Massachusetts writes in, what's up, Hack and crew? I want to hear about the hardest time Van Damme ever kicked Hack in the face. RVD always speaks fondly of Hack on YouTube and shoot interviews sort of things. I'd like to hear what Hack's opinion is on that relationship. I can never get enough Sandman pod content. I'd listen to more if I could. And P.S. Hack, do you remember doing lines of wasabi with me in a shitty sushi place after a show in the 2000s in an Eastern Massachusetts show? I think it was Revere. Well, you did. Me and you both snorted a line of wasabi, and it's my claim of fame to this day.
Revere,
shit-faced were
Massachusetts.
you, man?
He doesn't remember this at all.
No, you think I remember snorting fucking wasabi?
Well,
Must have been out of coke that night.
well, I was gonna say he probably hustled you, saying that it wouldn't hurt because his nose was
He
numb.
could do it.
His nose was numb by then.
Jesus.
So what was the first wasabi?
Yes, before the snorting wasabi, I buried the lead of the with Rob Van Dam. Any memories of him being stiff in the ring with you, kicking you?
Yeah, dude, it was the same one I think that he hit Vince with. His first night in WWF, he busted Vince's lip with the same off the top rope, that kick.
And Vince was like, I love it.
He will knock your ass out with that kick.
Okay. But
The
you
top
were,
rope one.
None specific to you though. Like
No, he did it to me 2 nights in a row. And the next night I got up on the back corner and I'm like, nope, not tonight, Rob. Man, he had to jump down.
that's awesome. Shouts out to RVD, man. Fucking
but yeah,
legend.
he was saying Rob always puts you over whenever he's doing
'Cause we're
stuff
boys.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Boys, dude, Rob taught me a lot, man.
That's awesome.
hey, listen,
Not
your
about
boy
wrestling, more about life.
I was gonna say
Okay.
your boy can stiff you in the face, and you guys can still be cool.
That's the business, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Inbred Ed from Shinson, West Virginia writes in,
Here we go.
Yeah, how we doing, inbred?
Hack, any thoughts on GCW?
Wait a minute, I got a cameo from Inbred Egg coming in.
Do you? Okay.
All right, check this out.
Whoa. All right. Well,
I was looking at her. This is for a frequent podcast question submitter. Shinston, West Virginia's own.
Inbred Ed.
Yeah, inbred Ed. It's his birthday.
Wow.
Hi,
right, well,
ECW fan. Please have fun with it. Roast him, please. He and I met you I met Inbred Ed.
Dude, you're spoiling. We might have to edit this out. If you're spoiling
I'm
this
sending it to him on a cameo.
I know, but what if the cameo's out?
surprise?
Yeah, what if it's a surprise from a friend or something?
Well, you better put the cameo
Well,
out
I'll get
right
it together
now.
before Tuesday.
Tuesday, the episode comes out Monday. We have to edit this shit. Or do we leave this in? I don't know if we leave this in. We might leave this in.
Hey, you gotta leave it in.
Well, you better get it done in the
my
next day
God.
or two. So.
Any thoughts on GCW or
Writes
any,
on notepad.
or any interactions
For inbred Ed.
or any
To-do list.
or any interactions with Brett Lauderdale? Not putting it on that scale by any means, but in my opinion, it's the closest promotion to ECW, and they have a stacked card this month at the Hammerstein. They need you there. So, okay, any thoughts on GCW, Hack?
Dude, I actually just watched Dark Side of the Ring, maybe with that. Was that dude Cage? in that company?
Cage. Oh my God, not Cage. We did this with the Joey Janela show. You couldn't.
Butthole face with the beard, Nick.
Nick Gage. Yes, he
Nick
robbed the bank.
Cage. I don't know. Looks like a C.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I watched someone. I watched it last night. They're the guys that go crazy, right?
They have a lot of deathmatch guys that do some crazy stuff, but they have a lot of really good workers as well.
Yeah, but the Nick Cage guy reminded me a lot. He spent some time in prison. Came
Nick
out, made
Gage.
good.
Yes.
Shout out GCW.
Got out of
Joey
prison,
Janela.
got a hot urine, went back to prison, exactly what I did. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah. He's not with GCW anymore, but I know he's still a absolute legend.
And he died on his way into the fucking helicopter.
Yeah,
I did that in Indianapolis. We didn't have a lot of gum.
At a tournament of death. Yes. He's had a wild, wild ride, man. In the business,
maybe if he just, smashed some beers on his head, maybe you guys would be right there.
We should have been tag team partners.
Dead or
I
alive?
wouldn't have made it out of the 90s.
Yeah, dead or alive?
Yeah. Ryan from Massillon, Ohio writes in, "What's up, Hack and the Hackamaniacs? It's been a while since I emailed you. Got my action figures in a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get them signed. So that's cool, man. Can't wait for you to see
When you
that.
going to Ohio next?
Yeah, he's got no idea.
I think I was just in Sandy, Ohio.
Oh.
Sandusky?
No, that was Indianapolis.
Hack, I've been wondering if you ever considered writing a book, like a biography or even half
I'm
stories.
going to Ohio. I'm doing Ohio, Michigan, the 24th this month, the 25th, and the 26th. I just signed a deal the other night.
January?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm flying
post the
into
dates on
Detroit.
Instagram.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're both right together. So I'm doing like 2 Minnesota shows and an Ohio show or something.
All right, Ryan. Well, maybe you get together with Hack there. Hack, have you ever considered writing a book, like a biography or half
No,
stories?
because I can't remember shit. You guys know. I don't
was
know.
just gonna say,
I would have to
yeah.
give a chapter to different people.
Okay.
Like Todd would get a chapter, Dreamer, Van Dam, Sabu, they would all get chapters.
That sounds like a
Fonzie.
great idea.
Yeah,
We can
and they
get
would
this
have
going.
to be with the author, and then author would probably have to put it all together.
So I'll get this going. This will be my project
If
for
you-
2025. I'll get your
If
book
you
going.
listen to
Hack.
the book, dude, we've always told Hack, like, dude, you should write a book, but clearly, if you listen to the podcast, that's nearly impossible for
I don't
him to come
remember
up with
shit.
anything.
Yeah.
So,
Unless you bring it up, then I might remember it.
right, but
Okay.
there's no way that that's coming back to recollection. So, I mean, Dreamer could probably write.
We'll
the
talk
shit
off
to
air.
him and
Hack,
Todd,
you and
but,
I,
yeah.
you and I will connect off air. I like this guy. idea.
Feed
I'd
him
rather watch Sami Zayn against the Bloodline than against every single Samoan they have in the company.
That is not true, man. Also for the guys, one dream tag team match from any eras. For me, it's the Dudleys versus Harlem Heat. I don't know, tag team era match.
man.
Jeez, you know what? I don't know. Give me Steiner brothers versus their sons. So Braun Breaker and then Scott Steiner's kid, who's still playing college football. So I'll do that.
I'll take like a Benoit Malenko against Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, something like that.
Okay.
Or
We probably
Mysterio
saw
with
that match.
Psychosis.
We probably saw that match. It's a match we
I know,
haven't seen.
that's just the good shit.
Okay. Ollie, you got anything comes to
Give
mind?
me Tajiri and Whipwreck versus the Hardy Boys.
Wow, that's a
Ooh,
great
that's a
match.
good one.
That's a great match.
That's
dude.
a real good one.
Give me the Young Bucks versus Little Guido and Tony Mamaluke.
Wow, that's a great,
That'd be a
match,
great
too.
match, too.
That would be fucking
We're all
awesome.
workers, though. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, we want to see work.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Work.
Bob from Broomall writes in,
Bobby!
salutations, Hack, his seeds, and the 2024 Breakout Podcaster of the Year, Brian W. Tosh. Wow, Bob, thank you so much. dude.
That
Bob wrote
I told it's Bob, the guy that I didn't believe even existed when we
No.
first heard of him.
No,
I
Bob's-
think Bob's you.
Bob is
Bob is Tosh.
Bob's a former worker, man.
Tosh is Bob.
Bob works at
I know, you're trying to sell it on me even more. No, heck, he's a worker.
he works at Brick and Brew in Havertown. Go! I swear to God. Shouts out to Brick and Brew.
Now he's even got a name of a fake bar.
No, it's real. It's great.
Brick and Brew.
We got this alliteration. Brick and Brew, Bob from Broomall.
Great whiskey sours there, by the way. Bob, you're a
Yeah,
man.
that's a woman's drink.
It's a great drink. What about old fashions? They got great old fashions
Another
too.
woman's drink.
Okay. Over here.
What are you on, John Taffer's show? Getting an old
I love bar rescue.
So do I.
Shut it down.
We all love it. You're gonna kill somebody. I wake up with it almost every morning. I'll hit the news first, but today when I got up, it was all like the Jimmy Carter stuff like that. So I couldn't watch any of that because that was all the news. So then I watched like 3 hours of bar rescue.
Well, they
Dude,
got
I'll
to
be
do
taking a piss at 6 a.m. and SpongeBob's on Hack's TV.
Well, that's because I was watching something on there earlier that night, and then like 5 hours later.
Okay. Bob's question.
Drake and Josh?
Yeah, Bob.
I
Beavis and
love
Butthead.
Drake and Josh.
Bob's question. Was curious.
But SpongeBob was on this morning when I
Yeah,
woke
I
the
know. I
fuck
saw.
up.
Yeah, he fucking.
Here we go. I'm going to get through this question here. I was curious how you scoundrels feel about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Love scoundrels.
And if you happen to watch any of the big pay-per-views from this past weekend, and if you did not see them, is there any chance of having you watch them on a future episode and review an episode? I would love to hear all of your opinions. As always, thank you for the wonderful content.
I was actually going to mention we should actually probably review the newest Wrestle Kingdom episode.
Well, didn't two people that wrestled just come back from that tournament and won something?
Yeah, the Young Bucks.
The young
yeah, that was
Bucks,
AEW. The
Omega,
chick-
Mercedes Monet.
So there was
The
two
chick
nights.
that's
There
doing
was
all the fucking Wegovy.
I didn't watch the show, but I want to
Mexican
watch
girl.
the show.
I watched both of them, so I can tell you guys the Kenny Omega
Gabe
match, Gabe Kidd match you guys got to watch.
I can't even imagine it.
It is hack. I'm telling you, it's going to
Dude,
be.
every match I watch from that dude, it's like, all right, everybody else blows.
I was concerned. It's like a joke. No, it is.
The guy has a great match with a fucking toothpick.
I was concerned.
Dude puts over a broom handle like God.
Yeah, no, he does.
He's unbelievable.
He
that dude.
is. I was concerned coming off the injury that Omega would, maybe lose a step or two or something, right? I mean, he's coming off serious surgery and serious injury.
But it's been a year, right?
Yeah, but he had diverticulitis. He had 2 feet of his intestines removed. Like,
When he
yeah,
came
that's what
back
they
and
do.
he was still like a little bloated. Remember, he tried to do the nip up and he couldn't do the nip up.
Yeah.
I feel bad laughing, but it was just like it was
he
funny.
delivered so to the expectation point of like the old Kenny Omega. I can't wait for you guys to watch it. 'cause-
Oh, he was my favorite before
Yes.
Will.
Yeah. Well, I cannot wait for.
Do you got a New Japan account where me and Ty can watch it
I do.
on? All right, send us the info so we can watch
I'll
it.
send you guys to watch
Maybe
it.
we'll watch it tonight.
Wrestle Kingdom
And
was
we'll share it with everybody on next week's episode. So they all have it too, so we can watch, they watch
changing
together
my
when we talk
password
about
right
it.
now.
And there's the new one. What's it? The Bash at the Bay or the
They're doing a Valley show. I think.
yeah the
This
Valley?
weekend. Yeah, they're doing that this weekend
that's
too.
Okay, that's this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I wanted to check that out too.
I mean, look, New Japan. It's not at the level it was like pre AEW and like 7-8 years ago when it was Tanahashi was at his high and
Dude, 20 years ago. I mean,
well,
it
that's
was-
the peak. But I'm
Yeah,
talking about the
yeah.
second peak. The
Right.
peak was Hashimoto and Fujinami and Ricky Choshu and all these
well,
guys in
now
New Japan.
Okada and
Dick
Takeshita
Togo.
are over here. Okada and fucking HOTTOGO. Fucking.
But honestly, I mean, I would love to watch New Japan more. It's just I don't follow it enough. Like I don't know when it's on enough. Like when the pay-per-views are, and that's probably a fault of my own because it's probably easy as hell to figure it out. And also though, just the time difference of it.
Yeah, you got to watch it on your time sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
and I just forget about it. But I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, I love it. If I watched it more, it probably would be my favorite promotion to watch, honestly.
Yeah, there's some. Like,
work rate wise,
Takeshita and Ishii had a match on the Wrestle Dream show the second night. That was, if not for the Omega match, that would be my current match of the year. Like Ishii and Takeshita, they just hit it out of the park. It was an incredible match. Up next here, final question of the night. Kevin from Dayton, Ohio writes in, "What's up, Hack Pack? It's been a minute with the holidays, and normally I bring the good vibes." Oh God, where is this going?
Did you get lost?
But I didn't forget what you said about my brownies. You guys normally put out episodes on Monday, so I hope this is released and everyone can hear you guys cry and complain next week after Sirianni puts on another Nick Classic against the Packers. Go Pack Go, and boo hiss the Eagles. Wow.
Oh, fuck you, Kev.
What a loser.
What, do you jump off the Cleveland Browns bandwagon? Or I mean...
What a loser you are. Hack, any comments to Kevin?
it's not worth it.
It's not worth. Ollie, any
I'm
comments?
in the same boat.
Is loser.
I'm not acknowledging losers.
Yeah, we don't even. We're only focused on winners here, like Penn State and our Birds.
That's
so,
all right. We'll see next week.
Well, we won't see you in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, Kevin, because the Browns are nowhere near that ever. So, fuck off, Kevin. How about that? Next week on the show, we are reviewing ECW Guilty as Charged, the final ECW pay-per-view and televised show. But before we go, Hack, the cane of the week, the toast of the week.
None. Penn State's on. Bye.
Like, share, review. Fuck you, Kevin.
Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside?